I've organized all my playlists on this channel so that you're able to easily find different types of shoes, different brands of shoes, as well as finding all my shoe battles, worth the price shoe reviews, etc., all in one place. Enjoy. Welcome back. This is Wisconsin Shoe Guy, and today we're going to have a quick shoe battle about the George Cleverly Atom in Pebble Grain versus the Barbanera Sperelli in Waxy Kudu. Now, a couple differences. Pebble grain. I mean, this is a full grain pebble grain, which is not as common as you'd think, but it's a very high quality for a grain leather. But it is artificial, right? This is not something that is made from pigskin or something like that, where it just has the grain. So that's an artificial correction that they've made to the leather to give it that appearance. Where the kudu is actually antelope skin. And so all of that scarring and texture and so forth is natural from the hide of the animal. So that's a fairly significant difference. But let's talk a little bit about how these are similar, and then we'll talk a little bit about how they're different. First, they're both Adelaides. This is the U throat. Okay? That's on the front of the shoe. These are Oxfords. And that U throat is what makes them an Adelaide. Now, when we look at the two of them side by side, you'll notice they both have that. The Barbanera has a little bit more of a curve in there than the George Cleverly. But there's a very, very big difference. Well, many big differences on the shoe. First, the Barbanera is not a cap-toe Oxford. It's a wingtip Oxford. So the cap, instead of just being a straight tip cap, has this wing pattern on it, okay? Now, instead of a short wing, now they can go like this, or they can go up here. This one actually has a longer version of it. They would actually call it a medium wing. A long wing actually goes all the way around, okay? So that's there. It has a medallion, okay? As does the Cleverly. That's not as common as you'd think. Most Adelaides that are cap-toe Adelaides, straight tip Adelaides, do not have a medallion, but most wingtips do, right? And this is a fleur-de-lis pattern, and this is more of a fountain pattern versus a fleur-de-lis pattern, right? Now, this also has some additional broguing here, which is very unique to this shoe. It has regular heel caps. It has a slight seam in the back. Okay. The sole, it is a hand grade shoe. It is a blind stitch sole. Has some nails up at the top. Relatively narrow waist, but not very narrow waist. There's a very cool X pattern in nails across the heel, but it has a big rubber section for the heel. Now, when we look at the Cleverly, it has a peak on the heel cap. All right. Has the medallion we talked about. You look at the waist, this is a much narrower waist. It has a whole 2 rows of nails up at the top, and they're small nails. And the heels are more minimalistic, right? But it does have lines of nails, not just one nail. And the rubber heel part is very, very small. Now, a lot of people think that that makes it wear less, but I think it provides a little bit less traction. This has 2 pieces in the heel cap, right? So a small difference there. And of course, the heel itself is also narrower because it feeds into the waist, but not terribly so. Okay. You also see that since I've worn them about the same, the Cleverly wears a little bit harder than the Sperelli, although they both, have pretty well done. Now, this has a fiddleback waist. The Sperelli has more of a beveled waist. That's pretty minor. I say it's pretty minor. When you don't own any fiddleback waists, that's a big deal. And actually, this is a really, really small bevel, hardly any. So that is a significant difference as I look more carefully at it. This is, very, very intricately carved. That's a lot of extra work for the cobbler who's making it. So the Now this is waxy kudu. Now I took a risk on this and I actually applied moisturizer to it. And then I did a little bit of clear polish on the top, but not very much. But moisturizing it turned these from like a sand color into an olive color. Right? And I really like the way that they turned out. Really makes them even more unique than they were before. And they just looked really, really dry. And this really brought a lot of life to them. The soles in these again are very, very cool. I mean, they are considered hand grade, and just a very nice overall shoe. And I do like the fact that it has this extra pattern here on the side. That's something that is very unique to this. Now they make this in all kinds of different materials. You can see it with suede and with pigskin. I've seen it with suede and like a smooth leather. And obviously this is in kudu. Barbanera has several of these different options available, and I think they change the options by season. So you know, you can pick out what you want. So in terms of quality of the lining, the lining on this is a veg tan leather. The lining on the Cleverly is feels a little bit harder, I guess, than a veg tan leather, but it's still a very, very high quality lining. Still soft, but I wouldn't go barefoot in it. I'm always going to wear socks with them. This I could probably go barefoot with. It's comfortable enough, but my feet sweat, so I wouldn't. You know, as we just look at the overall shoes, that's about the difference. So I'm going to include some stitch density and some information here. And that is the shoe battle. In my opinion, you know, you really get into questions on, you know, what is better about a wingtip versus a straight tip Adelaide. And I think that this is where people who have large shoe collections are going to want both. It's not something where I think that they really compete against each other. This is a more casual shoe and something that, you know, I'll wear with jeans, I'll wear with tweeds. But I'm not going to wear this with like a pinstripe suit. Where this, even though it's a grain, I will wear with like a navy pinstripe or a navy stripe suit, like a chalk stripe suit. So that's just a difference there from my perspective. You know, a lot of people are going to feel different, and you know, it's got a brogue hole, so you can't wear it with a formal suit. But I would wear it with a three-piece suit as well. So anyway, this is Wisconsin Shoe Guy, and that's my take. Hope you enjoyed the short video.